Good morning. Happy Saturday. How's everybody doing today? Saturday is the day that is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is currently at the 24th degree. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So today is a Saturday. There's a helicopter flying above my house. Thank you all for yesterday for your donations and your kind thoughts and gratitude. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. The energy is so intense. This Cancer energy is not fucking around at all. And I'm sure you all can feel it. We're being asked to release our old ways of being and step into new ways. Like, I am having such severe calls into new ways of being, and it's and we're being asked to face our fear. Like, you have to go into the thing that scares you. It's been gloomy as fucking while. Yes. You have to go into the thing that you're most afraid of. The thing that you're experiencing the most resistance is where you're going to actually find your power and find the way to renew your power. It's like doing the thing that you would never do before, making that choice. Personally, I am Pluto is trining my vertex, which is how we relate to others, fated relationships, basically. I called my friend this morning, who's an astrologer, and he just looked at my chart and he was like, oh yeah, you're definitely going through it. Because I feel like a part of me is really dying, and it is uncomfortable. And this is what I'm aware of, right? I'm so aware of I'm a Cancer, feel like I'm all over the place. Yeah, this is agonizing. It really is. And it's like, so because it's Cancer energy, we're facing our childhood patterns. And the thing about being a child is that you don't know really what you're dealing with. You just feel stuff and you don't know what it is. So one of the things that I'm beginning to face is the part of myself that was conditioned to go along to get along. And thank you very much. The Queen Mother actually gave it to me. Clara gave it to me, so I'm very grateful. But as a child, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but I lived in an environment where people were doing things, like they did one thing and said a different thing, right? And as a child, I was just very truthful, like my son is. Like my son, as you guys know, my son is diagnosed with trisomy 21, which they call Down syndrome or whatever. It's really not a relevance. It doesn't have that much relevance, but he doesn't lie. He almost can't lie. It's a very fascinating thing. And it's like truth is just in him. It's just in him. And it doesn't even occur to him to lie. He doesn't consider telling a lie. Like he'll say something to me just straight out. Mommy, why do you do that? Or, you know, like if somebody's at my house and he comes in, he'll say, what are you doing here? He won't pretend. Whatever's on his heart is going to come out of his mouth. That is how my son is. And I was that way as a child. I just didn't have a diagnosis. And so I learned to be shamed out of that. I was conditioned to believe that it was wrong to do that was not the right way to be. And so then I learned to either be quiet or to not say what I was really thinking. You know, it's like, you know, like I was saying today in my class earlier, how we have an uncle who's a molester and we just act like it's not happening. Everybody knows that, you know, such and such is, but nobody's talking about the stuff that's going on. I was raised in a family where a lot of that was just agreed upon secrets, agreed upon lies, like that kind of stuff. And I'm beginning to face the part of me that learned to conform, that learned to act like the shit wasn't really happening. And you know what I mean? It's like, and it's in my body. It's in my body because the body keeps the score, you guys. And so I'm really beginning to feel the part of me that needs to face myself, you know. And here's the thing, as children, that suppresses the vital force of the child, and we end up carrying that. And yes, exactly. As children, I was just about to say that. As children, we are innocent. We don't know. Like, we're just come into stuff and we don't know what adults are doing or the agreements that they made. We have no idea that that's what's going on. And then you start to realize you have to behave a certain way or people are going to withhold their love or all of that sort of stuff. So we adhere to it. We begin to do the very same thing that the adults are doing because that's the way they condition us to be. And so I'm in this space where I'm looking at all the things that I succumb to, surrender to, because that is what everyone else was doing, but it wasn't really my truth. And it's almost like I had to learn how to be that, but I knew that it wasn't right for me, but everyone else was doing it. And if I'm going to be accepted and be loved, I have to adhere to this. I have to do it the same way everyone else is doing it or be ostracized, right? And so now I'm recovering those aspects of myself and facing them. And last night I was on the phone with a person who I have had a sexual relationship with for probably about a decade on and off. And it just sort of cycles around. And I really bore easily. Like, I want to say that. Like, I really bore easily with game playing. I can do it for a while. Sometimes it's seductive and I'm like, ooh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I'll do it. But once I realize, like, we're going to play this game again, I'm not interested. So yesterday I was talking to a friend of mine who I've been lovers with, and the seduction game started. And I said, I really want to say this out loud. I was like, I am bored by this. This isn't interesting to me at all. And I am so curious. Like, I'm really curious to find out what is really gratifying to me in my sexuality. Do I want to just do the thing where I'm like, oh, we're going to pretend and do this, but we know that or am I wanting something more or something different? I was like, I don't know what it is yet, but I know this isn't interesting any longer. And I like you as a person and as a friend, but I don't want to do this. And so I'm just getting more honest about what's my truth. Like, I'm not, in the past, I just would have went along, but it's like, I don't want to go along with that. Like, and shortly after that, they got off the phone. And that is totally fine. Like, I ain't mad. They don't owe me nothing. I don't owe them nothing. It's all good. But I'm not about to act like I'm turned on by some shit that's boring. Because it's boring. People in positions of power do this shit too. It's like when you go for a job interview and you can feel the current employees telling you, don't do it, bitch, you're on. Yes. It's a really interesting thing. And so these are patterns that I picked up from my childhood. These are patterns and ways of being that I was assimilated into. I realized that as a woman, I was really taught, like, this is how you use your sexuality. This is how you get what you want. This is how, and understand, like, it's, and so I'm beginning to see the power play in the sensual sexual experience. And one of the things that I experience is that in our culture, you know, like, so much of our sexuality is subversive and we don't speak about it and we have judgments on it and we make it wrong and it's shameful. And I'm seeing all the things I've done all the ways that I practice in my sexuality that really are shadowy and not really congruent with who I truly am. You know, the ways I've manipulated with my sex, all of that sort of stuff based upon that was the way I was conditioned and taught. And, as women, we know how men respond to our sensual nature, and we know how to use it. And then men are so vulnerable because the average man cannot walk away from the opportunity to stick his penis in some pussy. Like, the average man cannot. Like, and that's an interesting thing as a woman, and to really realize, like, I don't want to be manipulated. Like, what is it that I'm really doing? What is it that I'm really doing? How do I really want to use this energy? What am I really up to? What's the power play here? What's being activated here? Like, can I be honest enough with myself to engage in a way that's responsible and truthful and awake? It's like we are taught to use sex to get money. We're taught to use sex to get love. We're taught to perform, like all of this sort of stuff. And I'm just asking myself, is there a new way to be with it? I've been so damn sincere lately, just forthright, and also so good for everyone involved, releasing us from the old patterns. Yes, the obsession with the flesh and the friction makes fucking yes. And that's the thing about sex, right? It really is just friction. It is friction. Do you understand that it is literally the friction that causes the hormones, the feelings, the creation, and that's the creative process. So not doing it is helping me see, oh, this is just the creative process. But how do I want to use my creative process in a way that really is in tune with who I really am? In a way that is activated to what really feels true for me, and not based upon how I was taught to be and what I was taught to think. So Saturn, today is a Saturn day, and Saturn is our karma and our cause and effect, and the sun is in Cancer, so we're working with that feminine energy. And the feminine energy is what we learn from our mothers. It's internal, but it's how we watched our mothers function, whether it was aligned, whether it was in the negative or in the positive. It's how we watch them function. And most of our mothers were functioning out of integrity with their own feminine energy, just because we're in the dark ages. That's it, right? But what did it look like? Because women haven't really had their authentic power, so they've been forced to function in the shadows to get their needs met. So where is this showing up in your own life? And this moon is in Scorpio. It shows up with Scorpio. It's about our sexuality. It's about our shadow. It's about jealousy and envy and fear and all the things that are really, it's about embarrassment and all that sort of stuff that we don't, rejection, the things that we put away. Like, how do we reject ourselves? How do we judge ourselves? How are we functioning at odds with ourselves? All of that is what it is. Manipulation has truly become boring. Thanks for those words. I've been uninspired because of it. Yeah. And so how can we get ourselves into healthy new ways of being with our inner world, our sensual energy, our power, our feminine energy? How can we use it so that we're not creating more karma? How can we use it so that we're creating power and life and abundance, and not shame and doubt and fear, not more of it? I'm navigating feelings aroused and not having to follow through with intercourse, especially if I'm not experiencing being worshipped and nurtured. I can't do that. No nightstand, no one. Yes, it sucks. That's right. Women and shame and come on, y'all. Come on. Exactly. And this is core. This is really core stuff, because our sexual power is our power. Our sexual power is our power. And when we take hold of it and see how it really functions in us and through us without giving it to anyone first and foremost, when we understand it and master it, then it becomes something that is more useful, at least through our own understanding. It's become something that heals our bodies, that can be really healing. And it's not just about the way we use sex in this country is perverted. It's perverted. And what I mean when I say it's perverted, I mean because we don't even actually know what we're doing or how to do it. Like we think it's about getting, we think it's about this thing called marriage or whatever it is. We think it's about orgasm, but sex is the creative force of the universe. Everything is sexual. One of the things I'm listening to a little bit right now, the woman who's running for some political office who was twerking, and just listening to how the men are shaming her so much. Why? Because it's about her using her sexuality. She used her sexuality, and men are so subject to women and their sexual power. Men have no power when a woman is in her sexual power. They literally have to succumb to us. Why? Because they come from our bodies. So for us to submit to a man who doesn't understand the natural laws is for us to submit to our own creation. Why would you submit to something that came from your womb? Why would you submit to something that you are the creator of? Like, we have to understand who we are. So they're so enraged about this woman twerking because she is expressing her sexual power. Now, whether she's being manipulative or not, that's on her. But the fact that they are just at the effect of it, because men haven't done the work to own their own sexual power. They're immature. That's what I want to say. We're all very sexually immature because we don't understand what it really is and what we're really doing, and we're not using it well. Cosmic said, I have a stellium in Capricorn. If we ain't building what the fuck we are doing, we don't have kids, but like, what's the intention? I have Chiron in the 8th house, and I'm a sex switch period. Yes, we have to really understand what we're up to. I just ended a whole shadow relationship because I got bored and just wanted more. Yes. And the thing is, the wanting more is wanting more from ourselves. That's the thing. It's like really understanding. One of the things that I'm seeing with the person that I was on the phone with yesterday, it's not about him. It's about me. I'm bored of how I'm showing up. I'm bored, and so I need to ask more of myself. What is it that I'm really up to? What is it that I'm really doing? What is it that I'm really desiring? What's really happening here with me? With me, right? So as women right now, or people who are feminine led, more feminine led, because you could be a man who leads with feminine energy. It's just an energetic, right? This is not about gender. So we have this opportunity to really reclaim what we learned in our sexuality from our mothers, from the women, from the feminine, how they use their sexuality. And one of the things that I'm really seeing is that my sexuality is very sacred. And it just means that I have to understand it. I have to understand that it is mine. It is mine, and I don't owe it to anybody. I don't have to sign a contract that says if I do it this way, then I'm not going to do it. I own it. I own it. So what is it that I want to do with it? How do I want to be with it? How am I going to use it? It is mine. It is mine. All right, y'all. I love y'all very much. We're way too damn dynamic to be existing in these now. That's right. That is right. That is right. Cosmic T thinks I'm so overblown. Yes. Can I say we are powerful when we got individuals attempting to be a woman? Yes. Isn't that something? Oh, this is so hilarious. The person who is being the imposter to me is here. You guys I am not asking anybody. This is hilarious. The person who is impostering me is here on the live. I love this shit. Hi, I hope you're doing well, the other Monique Ruffin. I'm glad you said that. Every July, I almost get divorced because I'm a big hoe and I get so bored at home. That may be, no, that's not TMI. But I don't get why I should be deprived of, that's right. And no one gets to make you feel, that's right. You own your body, ladies. Your body is yours. Your body is yours. And that's what all this shit is about. This whole cosmic thing is about dominating the feminine. And if we don't dominate and own our own feminine energy, then they will come and take it. And we have not been in the driver's seat. We have not been dominating our own feminine energy. And so we have to spend time with ourselves, loving ourselves, nurturing ourselves, blessing ourselves, honoring ourselves, giving ourselves what we need without the expectation of somebody else externally to give it to us. We have to become solely responsible and accountable for our nurture, for our desire, for our pleasure. And when we do, yes, that's the imposter. That's hilarious. And when we do, the universe shows up in kind. It shows up in kind. Right? I love but that's the world that we live in now. So, they got to live and eat too. I'm just telling y'all that I'm not asking for anything. So if it's her or if it's them, just know that it's them and it's not me. And I hope that they are learning from this live as well. So that is really all. Like, you have to be brave to do this work. You have to be brave to do this work. You must be brave to do this work. It's hilarious. I just realized I really don't want anything here there's nothing here for me I'm just here to give. I'm really here to give. And sometimes I get confused with that because I do have needs here. I have food. I need to eat. But I'm really here to give and I don't have anything. So I understand that everybody's where we are and everybody's doing what they got to do. But what a time to be alive, you all. What a time to be alive. And so let's just continue to heal and love ourselves and really do the best that we have. The Neptune class is still available. The Neptune class, we're working on really doing the work to shift the consciousness, our subconscious, because the subconscious is where this stuff all comes from. One of the things I'm bumping into this week as I do this work with my subconscious is all these sexual patterns that are in there because the body really remembers everything. And you must face the body. It doesn't go away. So you guys come and sign up for the Neptune retrograde class. You can sign up in my link tree. And it's $33 a month for like 5 months. It's like $33 until December, $33 a month to December 3rd. So that is that. Okay, you all. Peace and blessings. I love you very much. I'll talk to you again. Yes. Bye to the imposter. Thank you. See you guys later. Bye-bye.